My dear brothers and sisters, there is a lovely hymn in the breviary which I often like to reflect upon and pray over. It has almost become part of me. The hymn says, "Alone with none but thee, my God, I journey on my way. What need I fear when thou art near? Did warriors strong around me throng, they could not stay thy power. My destined time is fixed by you, and death doth know its hour. No walls of stone can man defend, when thou thy messenger dost send." My dear fathers, those words, the words of that hymn, are so true. No walls of stone can man defend, when thou thy messenger dost send. And we know that for all of us, each one of us, big or small, great or little, to all of us, one day that messenger will come. Death is inevitable. But what shocks us is not death itself. What shocks us is the suddenness with which at times God sends his messenger. Without any warning, a person is taken away from us. This is the case, for example, of Fr.Kuriakose By Bp.Agnelo. He left without saying a single word. He left without a goodbye. In the face of such a death, we could ask, why has the Lord taken him away? Taken him away at a relatively young age of 61, when he could have accomplished so much. Why has God taken him? We could ask so many whys. We will never get an answer. The answer lies in the deep mystery of God's designs. He knows what is best. And rather than ask why, in the words of St. Ambrose, we can say, we do not ask you why. Rather, we thank you for having given him to us. We thank you for having given Father Kuriakose to us. We just heard his beautiful and eventful life. We want to thank God for all that he has done for the church and for the diocese. We want to thank God for all that he has meant to each one of us. A beautiful person, a priest who gave his life to God. Today, we want to thank God for him. The press today would like to create a lot of speculations to find out what happened and to try to get to the underlying, so to speak, conspiracies. We rely rather on what the reports will be after the autopsy is done. And more than that, we want to pray for him. He is a precious child of God, a priest of God, and we want to pray for him. We want to offer our condolences to the family members who have lost a precious member. And that is why you have all gathered here in such large numbers. I see in your presence here, right here as well as on top, a sign of your affection, a sign of your faith in God, a sign that we believe that death is not the end, but the beginning of a new life. So beautifully today's readings speak to us and give us that faith of life beyond death. That is what we profess when we gather here at this Eucharist, as we thank God for the gift of Father Kuriakose and offer back to God the gift he gave us. We want to say, Lord, you have given him to us. Today, we hand back this gift to you. He has enriched us, and we are grateful to you for that enrichment. My dear friends, each time we celebrate the Eucharist, we celebrate a twofold death and a twofold resurrection. We celebrate the death today of Father Kuriakose, and you have been happy to have his body here with us, but it was not to be. I delayed the Mass so that if it is possible, we could have had the body with us. But even without his physical presence, we want to pray for him, and that is why we have gathered here. We celebrate today the death and the resurrection of our brother Kuriakose, and we celebrate it in the context of the death and resurrection of Jesus, which each Eucharist commemorates. The death and resurrection of Jesus gives meaning to our own death and our own resurrection. Today, my dear brothers and sisters, the Good Shepherd Jesus has led Father Kuriakose, his shepherd on earth, back to his eternal pastures. We accompany him with prayer on this last journey of his as he enters his heavenly home. We can see the Father say to him today what is said in the Gospels. Well done, good and faithful servant, Father Kuriakose. Enter into the joy of the Lord.